What's going on, y'all? It's another episode of Minding Ya Biz. I'm one of your co-hosts, Dr. Black Wealth, and we got...
Hey, guys. It's your girl, Miss Fab Financial, checking in today. How we doing?
Man, we doing good. Listen, Minding Ya Biz, our show is all things business and political news where you can get your quick updates on each topic, right?
All things, all business related. Of course, politics, we're in the season, campaign season, so we're going to talk about what you want to talk about, right? What policy is going to work for you? How does it benefit you as a business owner?
100%.
Right?
So today we breaking down Kamala's new agenda, or the black agenda, the opportunity agenda economy, however you want to describe it, but her plan for the black man to succeed in this economy.
All right.
And we're going to break down her 5 policies, right? So the first one that's kind of big is the fact that she wants to give out loans, right? So she's going to give out 1 million fully forgivable loans for up to $20,000 to help black entrepreneurs. What you think about that? How you feel? I know we grade these A through F.
Right? A through F. Right? Okay, so with
what's the grade and then what you think?
So with the first policy, right, just like you said, up to $20K forgivable loans to underserved communities to help revitalize for businesses and startup capital. So I graded it. I gave it 2 grades. One, is just for like the idea. I think it's a great idea. I gave it an A for a great idea to help people. But I downgraded it for execution. The details, how it's going to be rolled out, how it's going to be maintained. Do you need a business plan? Do you need this? Do you need that? So I think I gave it an A for a great idea. I think it's going to help. The initial idea of it to help kickstart black and brown people who do have issues with capital, right? I think it helps initially as a great solution for that, right? Because that's typically where the gap is, right? Banks won't loan to us typically, not necessarily being black or brown, but they usually don't. It's an unproven concept. So typically banks don't give you money for startups, right? You usually have to raise funding for that. So I give it an A. But I did downgrade it for a B- for execution. I want to see the rollout, how it's going to be maintained, and all that good stuff.
Cool. So for me, it's a B-. Definitely a B-. I think what is missing. So basically, how it's going to roll out is I know that it's going to be through financial. I forget the proper term. Y'all forgive me, but through financial partners who help with lending and through the SBA. And so even when the PPPs and all that stuff came out, there are institutions that are aligned to help secure funding. Mm-hmm. But I think the biggest part about when it comes to funding is not necessarily the loans itself, but some type of regulation to bring back community banks. And I think with the buy-up of more community banks is seeming like a strain to get more funding, because now you big on these regional banks and then you big on the big banks that, for whatever reason you get funded or not get funding. But I think the overall idea is pretty good. I guess we'll see what happens with it. So hopefully that they bring up some type of educational platform that help these business owners succeed.
That's why I gave it a B. You know what I mean? The devil's in the details in the devils, however that goes. All right. You know what I mean.
Right. So her second thing is the child tax credit expand to $6,000 for high income, or it's not for high income earners, but just the child tax credit being brought up to $6,000. That's going to help on your taxes, meaning that when you file your taxes, you're going to get a $6,000 credit for each child that you have on your taxes. Mm-hmm. So what you think?
I gave it an A. And I gave it an A for the idea is helping middle class people. Both of us being in taxes, that's typically where the disgruntled sad faces come from, right? People who are making $45,000 and higher, you start to lose that child tax credit, which means that your refund gets smaller or you owe more money. So I think A, for thinking about the people in the middle. I give it an A for execution because I know how it's going to work. I can visualize and see it, how Congress could pass it. They just increase it. It's already kind of in place. You just increase the child tax credit. So I give it an A on both sides for execution and is being a good idea to help middle-class Americans.
Oh, great. So my grade is I give it an A2, right? So the reason why I give it an A is because it's a both and, right? So with if I'm poor, I'll get a bigger refund.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm making money, I'll get a bigger tax reduction.
Right.
So
you owe less money.
Right. Right. So I'll owe less money. It helps out. It works out. You know, believe it or not, the game of the wealthy play those same small games with the IRS as well. When we talking about sheltering money and on paper they look, you know, kind of inexpensive because they still be millionaires, still qualifying for Medicare or Medicaid, whichever one of, probably both of them. So
that's on their personal return. It's very different.
Right, well, that's what I'm saying.
Return where the money is.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
No, for
they
sure,
plan it on a personal return. But I definitely give it an A because you know, I think the third leg to it would be you got the poor people who will get more money. You got the wealthy people who will reduce their taxes, but I still feel like you got somewhat people in the middle who like your high income earners who necessarily break even or this or that, and I think it might be a good deciding factor. It
helps a lot of people.
Yeah,
that child tax cover large umbrella.
Yeah,
large umbrella.
Yeah, she you know. She had a good advisor for that.
Okay. All
right. So the third one is first time home buyers get a credit up to $25,000 down payment assistance. So what this does is if you're a first time home buyer, you'll be able to get $25,000 toward the down payment of your house to be able to get you to qualify for housing. So what's your grade on that?
Okay, so again, I give it 2 grades: idea and execution. I do because it's can always be a great idea.
This high school with college classes.
Listen, I got to know how it's going to be rolled out.
You doing AP and regular? What's happening here?
That's right. You can't just give me an idea. I need to know how it's going to make sense.
I guess.
So, I give it for idea. I love it. I give it an A as well because that's an issue. It's tackling the issues. Most Americans cannot afford housing. They don't have the down payment assistance for whatever reason, right? We're not going to talk about that. But they can't save money. They're not making no money. So putting down $25,000 for your home is a really tough thing for a lot of people to do.
So the first grade was a what?
The first grade is an A for the idea. The idea of it to give Americans $25,000. Now for the execution, right? I'm giving it like a B minus.
Okay.
I've seen it pay back before because we do taxes, right? We didn't tell the people if they're paying it back, but we know from the previous first time home buyer credit, you have to pay it back. So the devil's in the details. How is this going to be rolled out? Is it going to take place as a lender credit? Are they giving them $25,000? Is it like a program you got to go through and they're giving you a grant for $25,000? So again, B minus. I need to know how it's going to be rolled out.
Yeah, I got you. So my grade, I give it a C minus.
All right, Lord.
You know, I'm sorry, it was just a C, not a C minus. So, you know, take all the way to minus. I give it a C, high C, right? 78, 79.
Okay.
We want to quantify it. But the reason, my thing is because I think home ownership is highly overrated. In the sense that I think we push home ownership because, you know, it gives people a sense of like, hey, I'm building wealth, I'm building ownership. I know it comes from a time period where most poor and, you know, specifically most black people couldn't own homes, things like that. So I get that. I'm not taking that away. But I also think that home ownership is just highly overrated. Like, you buy a house. Yes, you own it. Yes, you have it. You build up the equity in there. But, you know, it's not like your wealth in the sense, right? It's like intangible paper wealth. In my viewpoint. And so to force a aspect of like, hey, we got to give people assistance so they can qualify for a home, I think further pushes the narrative of getting more material things to keep up with people, places, and things that they already can't afford. So now I'm going to further put you in debt with the government's hand and for you to turn around and pay it back on your taxes. So for that matter, I give it a C.
Okay. That's fair.
So,
Do I have time to rebuttal? Can I?
Oh my God! Hit the bell! Where's the bell? Where is the bell?
I get what you're saying. However, right? I
won't rebut this.
We should not. It's not saying that they're pushing debt to people, but
sounds good.
But for people who want to acquire a home, right? $25,000 sometimes is very difficult for people to do. And buying a home does start giving you the idea of how to generate wealth.
I guess.
It's equity in that. Most Americans, when they want to send their children to college or they want to help their child start a business, they pull equity out of their home.
100%.
And if I don't have access to that, I don't even have an option of that, that's putting me behind the 8 ball. I'm fighting with my hands tied behind my back. I don't even have an option of wealth. My mother didn't have an option to say, you know what, daughter, you want to start your hair care business? I'm going to pull $25,000 from our home to invest in your dream. Most of us don't have the opportunity for that. So I think it is a great way to start with us as a community to build wealth. Is that a solution for everybody? No. But I think, again, government is not your mommy and daddy. They are your partner. And I think that's a great way to help Americans build wealth.
Spoken like a true Democrat. The next thing they said was she said we're going to build 3 million new affordable homes, right? Which what happens with that is now we got government bids and contracts for developers to go out and build affordable homes. Let's make sure you get the language right. New affordable homes.
Right. Each market is going to be different. Affordability, probably like 200,000 to 300,000.
Okay, so this got 2 grades too.
All of my stuff has 2 grades.
Oh my God, this is just high school with college classes.
It's no absolutes. The ideas are always great, and it's the same thing on Trump. I would give him an idea. Sometimes it's a great idea, but baby, it don't work.
I mean, you ain't got to win no favors with me.
No problem.
What's the grade?
So for the affordable housing idea, I gave it an A-. I gave it an A-.
Oh, wow.
I think it's a good idea.
For the idea.
For the idea.
Okay.
I appreciate people thinking about people, right? The people in the middle, they are the ones that need the advocacy, right?
Okay.
So I agree with the idea and trying to put something together to help people who don't make a lot of money, to help younger professionals that are 20 and 30 something attain housing that's affordable.
Right.
Again, how it's going to be rolled out, I'm giving it a B-. Is it through credits, taxation to help builders keep the costs low? The devil's in the details. Is it, are we carving out more opportunity zones? Can you only build it here? Is it an age limit? Is it, I want to know more on how that's going to be rolled out. 3 million affordable homes. Well, some of them say units. I did see units. So I'm assuming it's going to be like apartments.
Right.
Because it was like affordable units.
You don't already have enough of those.
It's definitely not multi-families and apartments.
Oh my God. They popping up like flies.
Well, now they are because affordable housing is an issue.
Affordable. Everything I see says luxury.
That's why we need affordable.
Right.
Well, luxury is a buzzword.
So
it's marketing. It's marketing.
Just like these policies.
Jesus,
I gave it a C. Definitely gave it a C. It's definitely keeping in line with the housing thing. I just don't buy it. If you want a home, work hard, get it. That's as simple as that. Affordable homes, like I don't even know what that means. Like I can't afford something. If you can't afford something, you shouldn't get it.
Well, the affordability is not okay.
Oh, here we go. Here we go with the caveat.
No, for sure. Again, rich people don't need advocates, but they do need guardrails. So again, if I'm a builder,
poor people need guardrails.
I think everybody does. I'm talking about advocate.
Oh, okay.
Advocate. Okay. I'm a builder.
Okay.
I'm a business owner. I am
100%.
going to continue to increase so I can make more money, increase the profit of whatever. I build a subdivision.
Right.
I am not really concerned with the products that I build. I'm just there for profit over people. And so the government says, listen, you got to go into these particular areas. You have to build and make it affordable. You have to carve out more homes and cap them at this price. I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
Okay.
Then when people talk about homelessness, right? If people could be housed.
I'm not even about to comment on.
Okay. Everybody's not homeless because they are drug addicts and degenerates.
Oh yeah. What's another reason?
They can't afford
Right.
housing. They don't have family.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You can't work without a house.
It's called working poor. There are people in shelters who work every day
Right.
and cannot afford a home.
Right.
Right.
I agree. That's why if you want to be able to afford a home, it's 3 types of people in America.
Okay.
It's where I'm going to leave it.
Okay.
I'm going to leave it right here. It's 3 types of people in America. You either rich and wealthy, you poor, or you the third man in the becoming. America stands for a country where you can literally be a Hercules and go from 0 to hero with the work you put in to become from poor to rich.
Mm-hmm.
The third man is probably the majority people in America. So I think that if you decide that you want to make money, you want to afford homes, you want to afford cars, you want to afford children,
Mm-hmm.
that you should work hard to be able to do it. Not have kids and be expecting help.
Mm-mm.
Not
Sure.
be
A degenerate, a loser, a drug addict.
100%.
You need to put on your bootstraps
100%.
and get it going.
And if that's the choice you want to live, then
That's on you.
live by them choices.
Sure, work harder.
100%.
Work harder.
The
Wash
last
those
policy,
dishes more.
100%. Get a new skill.
Get it. Okay. Get a new skill.
Get a new skill.
Mhm.
Everybody can invest in the
Get that
stock
student
market.
loan.
I don't care where you work at.
Okay. Okay. No problem.
So the last policy is for business owners, tax deduction going from $5K to $50K for startup costs. So what this is right now the IRS tax code says that you can write up to $5,000 of startup costs.
Yeah.
Right, and then the rest of it you have to spread out over a course of time for any startup business.
Mhm.
So just to be clear, startup would be like if I'm starting a business and I absolutely spent money to start this business
Mhm.
and I absolutely made not a lick of profit at all, right? I didn't create one sale.
Yeah.
So they want to increase that from 5K to 50K
Mhm.
to be able for you to be able to write off 50K startup costs for any venture. What's your grade on it?
I gave it a C.
Okay.
I think it's a okay idea. I think we got bigger issues that we could have spent time and energy on.
Then the startup costs?
I mean, people abuse and write off everything anyway. I don't really think that needed to be like a thing. I think we could have done more with the tax code. I'm gonna be honest. Like, people were already probably writing off 50K. I don't think that was like a thing. Again, we could have done more. We could have increased the standard deduction. We could have given people more itemized. We could, like, the way to itemize and standard deduction work, we could have done more inside of the tax code than this, I feel like. So I'm giving it a C for an idea. I don't think it's one of her best. I'm not really excited about it. Because literally business owners write off everything. I haven't said one person's like, no, I can only write off.
I definitely have some people that ask me, though, should I not write? I'm like,
And what happens? They don't stop.
They don't. It's like, you get a write-off. You get a
So
write-off.
it's almost like permitting what was already happening.
100%. I gave it a B minus. And the reason why I did, it's this, if you guys remember, it's the same grade I gave the forgivable loan. And I thought that if you go through the trouble to give them $50,000 deduction, which means, so if I can get a loan that's also written off, and then I still got to go out my pocket for another
75,
25,
sure,
right?
sure.
And so I'm like, in that instance, it would be better, almost like what you said, to just give them a $50,000 loan that's forgivable
Right.
than to allow the deduction,
opposite, right?
The opposite. So I kind of kept it because I think it helps with the mindset of it's the optics of it all.
sure.
Like, hey, I can get a forgivable loan that's $20K,
and I get 50,
and I can get 50,000 on
new
the
startup.
tax. You know what I mean? So you'll be willing to risk more,
For sure.
knowing that you think. But I'm only saying that because the optics of most people are still wrong. Because most people think that if I spend $50,000, the government's giving me $50,000 dollar for dollar for tax
sure,
return,
and that's not
how it works. So if I spend $50,000, it's you going to claim the expenses, and if you made more, it reduces what you owe, etc. So just to get into the weeds of how it really works, right? And so I think if you so me saying that, because most people still think like dollar for dollar,
for sure,
the mindset of it all is like, well, hey, I get a $50,000
deduction
on my, so you're gonna be willing to like spend
more money, yeah.
But then with the guardrails, you're still gonna be taking. Most people are gonna, well, I ain't gonna say most people. A small number of people will still take it out of context to say like, well, hey, if I spend $50,000 and you still don't have no intentional spending
for sure
on making money, right? Because at the end of the day, when we're in business. Number one, we're in business to make profit.
That's it, absolutely.
And so number two, when you spend money, it should always be in pursuit of profit. I'm spending money to make some more money somewhere. And so for that, I gave it the same thing as
gave it a B.
As B minus, right? So, and that's it. So she came out with this Black agenda. I think is very news buzzworthy. Here's the overarching thing that I like about the whole agenda is the fact that you got the Black man being mentioned everywhere. And I think there was a time where you didn't really hear that. And I feel like Black men are starting to feel heard. I think that we should take that, because I am a Black man. We should take that and not, we should take that and lean more into the power we already have that they are now personifying on TV. I would say it like that. So, that's how I think it is. But any final thoughts on it?
I think the overall plan, I think they would pass. The agenda would pass. It got more A's. It didn't fail a grade. So I think her agenda passes for me. And not only, I just want to be clear that everyone does understand that, yes, it says Black agenda, but let's be clear, it does help overall Americans, right? So that whatever typically is for minorities help everyone.
Right.
It helps everyone.
Right. I mean, she definitely, minus the C's. She might be on the AB honor roll with me.
She's on the honor roll. She's getting.
She ain't make the dean list, but a couple tweaks, she might get there.
I think it's a plan worth. I think it's, like I said, that's why I gave it 2 grades. I think it's I like the idea. Yeah. I like advocating and thinking about solutions to the problems that most Americans have and talk about.
100%, man. So you guys, y'all drop what you got. We went through each one of the policies. Yeah. We gave our grades to it. So now, what are your grades? Yeah. Right? Drop them in the comments. Let us know what you think about the policy, how you think it might affect you or not affect you, whatever that may look like. And y'all stay tuned for another episode of Minding Ya Biz as we keep you in the loop, all thing biz, all thing politics. We'll see you on the next episode. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and we'll see y'all next week. Peace.